Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And what are you doing? You don't want the towel, but it goes with the aesthetic. Alright, sans towel. Anyhow, today in our journey into crazy shark flicks, we're doing Mako, Jaws of Death. This of course came out during the wave of shark movies that came out in wake of Jaws. Although ironically, this one was written before Jaws came out. A couple years before. Couldn't get anyone to help finance it. Didn't think it would be a good movie. Jaws came out and suddenly money's there for a crazy shark film. Now, it was written and directed by the great William Greffe, or William Greff, depending on how you look at it. His work, all around low budget stuff, included such great titles as Sting of Death, probably the only Jellyfish Man movie ever made, Death Curse of Tartu, The Devil's Sisters, the biker flick Wild Rebels. If you're a fan of Mystery Science Theater, you know that film. Wild Rebels, crunchy, fruity rebels. Remember? I also did Stanley, which was a man who killed people with snakes, similar to this one. And the movie Impulse. Interesting fact here, he was also the director of the shark footage in the James Bond film Live and Let Die. Man knew his underwater photography. Now we star one of the all-time greatest character actors, Richard Jekyll. He had a 50-year career from about 1944, or no, 1943 to 1994. Now, he got to work with all kinds of great stars. He was in The Dirty Dozen with Lee Marvin, Flaming Star with Elvis, The Drowning Pool with Paul Newman, The Outfit with Robert Duvall, and Chisholm with that greatest of all cowboy actors, John Wayne. He was also in a ton of TV shows. I mean, everything from The Millionaire, Wild Wild West, Love Boat, who wasn't, Ellery Queen. He was a regular playing the Lieutenant Quirk on Spencer for Hire, in which he got to wear three-piece suits and look all dapper. And his final role was a reoccurring character on Baywatch as a retired lifeguard. Now, for us horror fans, he doesn't disappoint there either, along with this one, probably his only starring role. He was in the USA Japan co-production The Green Slime. He was in the animal horror films Grizzly and its follow-up Day of the Animals, playing two completely different characters, since they both die in each film. He was also in the weird sci-fi slash zombie slash reconfigured to be a laser beam shooting alien, The Dark, and in the slasher film Blood Song, which former teen idol Frankie Avalon did an amazing performance as the slasher killer. Yeah, you should see him just for Frankie Avalon. He will blow you away in this. Now, the leading lady is Jennifer Bishop, who was a regular of Al Adamson. She was in The Blood of Dracula's Castle, Horror of the Blood Monsters, the second iteration of Psycho A Go-Go called Man with the Electronic, or Fiend with the Electronic Brain, Man with the Synthetic Brain, before it finally got reconfigured into Blood of Ghastly Horror. She was also in his films The Female Bunch and Jesse's Girls, his foray into biker and western films. Her other work included The Mad Room, Bigfoot, House of Terror, William Gruffy's Impulse, and the Rowan Martin spoof, The Maltese Bippy. Now, playing two of the henchmen, we have Harold Cicada, also known as Harold Oddjob Cicada, because his screen debut was as Oddjob in Goldfinger. He, before that was and after that was a professional wrestler. Some of his other film work included The Poppy is also a flower, Dimension 5, The Finks, The Wrestler, good casting there, The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington, Death Dimension, and Invaders of Lost Gold. He also did many appearances on TV shows, such as Gilligan's Island, Laugh-In, Hawaii Five-O, The Amazing Spider-Man. He has a good fight with him. Sheriff Lobo, if you remember that show. And most interesting, he was a regular on the short-lived show called Sarge. Now, Sarge starred George Kennedy as a policeman who, after the death of his wife in a bombing, becomes a priest. And while doing his priestly duties, also helps out his old friends on the force. And Cicada played his cook slash all-around helpmate. And finally, as the other big henchman, we have John Davis Chandler, best known for the way that he played psychotic individuals. He really sold those. He was just something about him. He just slid into those kind of parts easy. I mean, he was Mad Dog Cole in Mad Dog Cole. He was also in Major Dundee, Capone, The Outlaw Josie Wales, and Part 2 Walking Tall. He also made the horror films Moon of the Wolf and Phantasm 3. As with Cicada and Jekyll, prolific TV actor, appeared in Combat, The Fugitive, Adam 12, Gunsmoke, Columbo, Incredible Hulk, Hill Street Blues, Star Trek DS9, and the revamped version of Dragnet in the 90s. Again, very prolific. Now, this is a bit of a different kind of shark film. It's about a man that loves sharks, can talk with sharks, and is very protective of sharks. As we see in the opening, where he comes upon some shark fishers and decides to take some action.
What the heck?
Ooh, but our hero isn't satisfied with just helping his friend get free, because he hops on board their boat.
Oh, the humanity.
Man, he don't screw around. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to that last guy, but I think we can safely say he ended up in the water too. Now, after the credits, he heads back to his little island he has just off the Keys, or in the Keys, or right on the edge of where the Keys start. I don't know. I just know it's in Florida. Where he meets Pete, Charlie, and Mr. Whitney. Pete and Charlie work for Mr. Whitney. And Mr. Whitney has been paying him for being delivered sharks temporarily for study at his aquarium. But there's one thing he really, really needs.
I hope I've impressed on you how important this test can be. No one's ever filmed the birth of a wild shark before. No one's even seen it. I have.
That's all well and good, but science has other requirements.
I've seen it. I can tell you, you can tell them. But they won't believe me unless it's done under laboratory conditions. But she wasn't made pregnant under laboratory conditions.
Gotcha there, Whitney. Well, they dicker around, and he finally convinces him by talking about this new legislation that's being trying to be pushed through of offering a bounty on sharks. Like they did in the 1800s for wolves and coyotes and things. Well, that would just destroy the population of sharks. But if they could, get more documentation on these sharks, have more information, then people wouldn't be so afraid, and then we could avoid the bounty. So he reluctantly agrees. But once she's given birth, they all come back. All the sharks come back to him. All of them he's helped them get. And they're going to be returned to the wild. That's it. And Whitney agrees, but we know that's not what he's really after.
Make certain that he doesn't catch you at it until you find out where he's catching those sharks. Then you can have all the fun you want. But in the meantime, remember, we need him, so take it easy.
Yeah. Once they figure out where all the sharks are congregating, they can get rid of him and take as many sharks as they want. And they don't necessarily have to be alive. Meanwhile, our erstwhile anti-hero named Sonny Stein takes his boat to the mainland, gets in his van, and starts his rounds of getting meat scraps from all the local restaurants and stuff, a lot of times by dumpster diving. Although Butter, who runs one place, does keep him fed in burgers and beer because, he feels for the guy. But it's while he's at this other bar, he sees someone that will have a devastating impact on his life. That is Karen. She has a little swimming act. Now, he overhears the owner of the place Barney, that she's just not bringing in the business he had hoped, and they may have to kill the act. He also hears the sheriff talking about this abandoned boat they found. Third one this year. Wonder what's going on there. Well, after he's collected all the meat scraps he can find, he starts heading back when he finds that Pete and Charlie have waylaid the alone Karen and have decided to have some fun with her. And being the gallant guy he is, he decides to step in. It's commendable. Sonny is a pretty tough little guy, but come on. How many people are a match for Harold Sakata? Well, they run off after beating him down, and he's going to take Karen home, but he needs to make a stop first at his island. If he's late with the food, his friends get kind of upset. So she tags along with him, meets the sharks, and notices his medallion. And he tells her how he came upon it. See, back when he was working in the South Seas, raiders came upon his camp, killed everybody. He was the only one to get away, and they chased him, and then he was caught between them and a little inlet full of sharks. So, does he get shot or get eaten? Wow. Talk about your luck. Now, when he gets to the other side, there's a tribal elder there. They actually worship the sharks. And having seen him brave the shark, swimming with the sharks, and the sharks sparing him but attacking the other two men, has proven they've chosen him. What? And he's given the medallion, and he is now the shark's protector and friend. He can communicate with them because of this. Basically, it's just a big ring with a big shark tooth in it. But, you know. Well, after that, he finally takes Karen home, where we learn she's actually married to Barney. Oh, he likes to go swimming out in the water, but out in his backyard. But he has this nice shark fence to keep the sharks out. As this is Florida, I don't know what that would do to keep alligators out, but that's neither here nor there. We don't see any gators this whole film. Too bad, a shark-gator fight? That would have been something. Although, probably would have been pretty bad to watch. Moving on. Having heard her story of that weirdo, Sonny, he comes up with a great idea for her act.
Will you look at that? Man, what a beast.
Are you sure he can't get out?
Nah, that plastic liner is tough. Because we'll never know you ain't really in there with that shark.
Yeah, it could make a pretty good show. Someone swimming around with a shark. That'd be pretty cool. Here's where he gets tricky. You see, Sonny isn't selling the shark. He's letting him use the shark for a little while, as long as the shark likes it. But he tricks Sonny into signing a bill of sale for insurance reasons, because he has to own everything that's used. But he promises, guarantees, if he wants to take shark back, he can. No problem. Then Karen sees him out, flirts a little, gives him a little smoochy smooch. And then we find out what Barney's really planning to use that shark for.
What's going on?
Just a little something we cooked up. These control set off a high-frequency sound in that tank, drives those sharks bananas.
everybody in this movie's just a piece of garbage. Well, as he's heading home, he comes upon a guy brandishing a hammerhead shark he caught. So he takes one look at it, knows it's been shot. Demands to know how the guy got it. He bought it off these two guys. They got bunches of sharks. Sonny realizes he's been followed to the reef where the sharks are. So he heads out there where Pete and Charlie are having a great time killing sharks, taking turns going overboard to swim around, antagonize a shark, and then kill it with this thing that shoots you put it in contact and it shoots a shell or explosive into the shark, killing it. Wow. Sonny gets bored, and well, we don't quite see what he does to them yet, but their boat, steerless, comes back into the dock.
Here, small craft warning's been up about an hour. The sea's rising.
Hey, you're right. Hey, what's he towing behind the boat?
Oh, jeez. Poor Charlie. What happened to Pete? Talk about being hoisted on your own petard. I assume all the sharks that were originally killed and hanging on the boat were put back in the water, sort of a burial at sea. Oh, he goes to the afternoon show, where he finds out that Barney isn't taking good care of the shark. And he and Barney have words.
How's the hurt? It's only a fish.
Only a fish, you fat.
Sonny! Sonny, let him go! Sonny, I said let him go before I call the cops!
It is here we learn that A, Barney's not going to give the shark back. Sonny signed a bill of sale. It belongs to Barney. And B, Karen's Barney's wife, and she was only playing up to Sonny to get the shark. Well, he says he'll be back for his shark later. Not good. He goes straight to the aquarium where he wants his sharks back now. Matilda will give birth back in the sea. That's when he notices Whitney's trying to keep him out of a room. So he bursts in, and it is it's worse than you think. Not only is Matilda dead, all her babies are dead. They cut them out of her to study. They had no intention of having her give birth. Infuriated, Sonny goes after Whitney and tosses him into the pool with all the sharks he's been supplying him with.
Holy sardine!
Talk about a dish best served cold. But he's not done yet. At night, well, Barney's taking a quick swim before the evening show. Sonny comes up and cuts through that shark fence he put up.
And there was much rejoicing.
Barney probably made a pretty good meal. He was rather hefty. Well, for the last part of his revenge, he goes to that final show, and before showtime, cuts a big old hole in that plastic barrier that's keeping the shark from appearing, so that when the show starts, well, pandemonium erupts, which is a good thing for Sonny, because the sheriff and his deputy have shown up to arrest him. See, he was seen killing Whitney. Well, we get a bit of a chase. He gets shot a couple times. The sharks help him get away. He makes it to his island. Beats up the two cops when they try to take him out. And then when some more people of the posse show up, well, he gets to do a monologue.
I didn't want to hurt anybody. Just those who were killing my sharks. They deserve to die. I'm so tired.
Oh, the humanity.
Pretty moving, huh? Jaco was quite an actor. He just wasn't really allowed to be it most of the time. Anyway, he throws himself into the water with his shark friends, and this happens.
Holy sardine!
I know. I know what you're thinking. Why did they attack him? Same thing the sheriff asks when he comes to and sees what's going on. I mean, didn't he have a medallion? I mean, they didn't know about it, but we did, so what about that? Oh. Huh. So, did he lose it in the fight with the sheriff and deputy? Did he take it off voluntarily? To sacrifice himself? A little ambiguous. The editing doesn't really let you know that. I guess it just depends on your interpretation. But considering he was probably bleeding out and wasn't going to last much longer, I could see him making the sacrifice to die with the sharks, by the sharks. That's my interpretation. You can have your own. This, unlike the last couple of films, is really good. I really enjoyed this film. It is a little gem. Is it a great film? No. But it is enjoyable. A little slow for the first half. I got to set everything up. But once we start getting into the revenge moment, it doesn't let up. And some pretty good shark footage there. I gotta admit, that footage they got of those sharks, real sharks, amazing. A quick side note, the scene where Bishop gets attacked, that shark was not supposed to be alive. Luckily, it was toothless. But what had happened was they thought it was dead. They were going to put it in water, get some shots. Da, 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 da. In the water, it revived and grabbed on the bishop's leg, but she wasn't hurt. No teeth. But yeah, it's just a fun little tidbit there. And I gotta say, they really, really do a good job of making Sonny sympathetic, despite the things he does at the beginning and the last third of the film. Up to that point, you really despise everyone else more than him. I mean, yeah, he's killing some people, but he's also being used and taken advantage of just because he wants to protect the sharks. And as we've learned through the years, sharks are not these evil monsters of the sea. That was something Peter Benchley had worried about with the success of Jaws, that sharks would be viewed as evil creatures when they're not. There's like Hooper says, they do three things: they swim, they eat, and they make little sharks. That's all they do. There's no maliciousness. And I did learn while visiting the aquarium at down by my parents in North Carolina when they were alive, that sharks really don't like to work very hard for their food. It's one of the reasons they mostly attack injured fish. Why you don't want to go into the water with an open wound in areas where sharks are. And they demonstrate this by the fact that some divers in the aquarium just have a baton, and they just kind of push the shark away and it swims off. Now it helps that they are well fed so that they're not always hungry. Got to see the feeding, and it was hilarious. Not because, the sharks did anything goofy. It was just, they know when feeding time is. When they sense, the time, the person being up there with the fish, they all congregate, and you just see them with their heads, way up there. You can't really see what's going on. And while they were bunched around, this moray eel kind of went in, kind of shimmied up in between them, got its fish, shimmied back down, and swam away. It was one of the funniest and coolest things I'd ever seen. Back to the movie. Amazing, amazing acting in this. Okay, Harold Sakata and Chandler, they give their usual tough guy, sleazy, villainy performances, but they're really good at it, and they have a lot of menace, especially in the fight scene. And okay, Bishop's okay. She's not given a lot to do, but she well plays the noirish femme fatale that her character is. But let's face it, except for how amusingly over the top the actor playing Barney is, as in this scene.
I got it. I know how we can really put your act together. Wait till you hear this, it'll kill you.
Yeah, like I said, over the top, but entertaining. But this is Richard Jekyll's film all the way. He's our main character. He is the main focus. He is on screen most of the time. And it is probably his greatest performance in a film, TV show ever. Just the gamut of emotions. Infatuation. Friendship. Sympathy for the animals. Anger. Exhaustion. Got that look on his face when he feeds the one guy to the shark and just stands there over the tank and watches him. And that ending monologue where he's crying and he's just He's just forlorn. Oh, yeah, amazing performance. He's even menacing, which is amazing because he's not actually a big dude. He's below average height, kind of thin. But especially that opening, when he's in that wetsuit and he's approaching people, and later on when he takes out Pete, he is scary. Yeah, I could go on and on about how awesome Richard Jaco is. Because he is. Just a great actor. And this is basically a showcase for him. And why he did not do more lead roles, I don't know. Because he could have carried it off. But he still had an amazing career. Every genre of film or TV, he made an appearance in it. Combat pictures, crime pictures, gangster pictures, heist movies, war movies, cop dramas, sci-fi. He was in Airplane 2. Just if there was a genre, he could work in it. That's how good an actor he was. Well, I think I've gushed about him enough. Please hit like, subscribe, and stay after the credits for my favorite scene.